help your customers convince themselves to buy. Hi, it's me, it's John. Yeah, John Butt, you remember? I was here yesterday and the day before. And it's the Marketing for Owners podcast. But you know that because it says so on the label. I want to talk to you about your customers. I want to help you get inside the head of your customers. And one of the tricks of this is to remember that you yourself are a customer. Does that make sense? You buy stuff. You are people's customers. So you need to figure out how it works for you, and then apply the same to your customers. So it's all mental trickery. It's all head game stuff. And one of the things is that if you can help them convince themselves to buy it, you give them the justification where they can make the decision today, then it saves you a job. Because quite often people want to buy it, but there's a couple of things. There might be money, there might be, oh, I don't need it yet. You can get to it. Now, ladies, I'm going to apologise because I can not talk about shoes or clothes because I don't have the expertise. So I'm going to talk about men's stuff, about blokes. Now, blokes, as we know, love gadgets and cars. So there you go. I can't think of anything that helps with sport, but say you want a new TV. Okay, last night you sat at home, you were watching Netflix on your TV. It was perfect. It was fine. It's lovely. It's a TV. It's a big flat screen TV. It works. You don't need one. However, the other day you saw an advert for the new Samsung 60-inch 4K whatever, and you're thinking, this is the next generation, this is what they use at the movies, the 4K thing, this is great, I need one of those, or I'd like one of those. Now then you're in a Best Buy or a Currys, that's the UK version, similar thing. And you're looking around like you do, and you stand there and you look at it and you think, gosh, not as much as I thought. The guy comes over, and because in reality you obviously don't need it, you've got one, it's fine. If you didn't know the thing existed, if you weren't there, you wouldn't even be thinking about it. In fact, you probably you lazy thing, you'd probably be at home sitting on the sofa drinking a cup of coffee, maybe a beer, watching something right now instead of working like you should be. But you want it, it's saying, buy me, buy me. Oh, it's pulling you in. So you start to think of justification. You look at it and you think, it says there that it's more energy efficient, and you think, oh, it's going to save me money. Of course, the fact it's going to save you like $3 a year, and you're going to pay out £800, nothing to do with it. But little things like that, little ideas, and the salesman explains something about it, and you think, oh, that's handy. It's, for instance, it's lightweight. It's lighter than your current TV, and you think, and so you'll think, okay. Oh, so if it fell over on, say, a kid, it wouldn't harm them. Of course, not an issue with your current one, but you start to think like that. And that's the way it goes. And again, you're out one day, you're in the mall, kids are shopping, you're hanging around, you're a bit bored, you say, look, I'll just do your own thing, I'll be back in an hour. You walk out, there's a BMW dealer next door, you walk in, you look at the cars, you just look around, you've got a car, and you start to think, gosh, that doesn't cost as much as I thought. God, look at that. Oh, I like that colour. And you pick up a brochure, look at the colours, and you start to convince yourself that you want it. But in your mind, you're already telling yourself why you should have it. It's not just because you want it, because that would be naughty. That would be, wow, how am I going to get that to fly? And when getting approval, it's not approval from, say, your spouse or your family or the other people who might want to claim on that money, but the approval from you in your head, because you don't want to feel like an idiot. You don't want to feel that you've been convinced by something or wasted your money. You want to know that you spent it well. A better example is I'm recording this as video on my new iPhone 7. Now, at the time of recording this, it's the start of October, my upgrade, my free upgrade, in the UK we get free upgrades every couple of years, is due at the end of October. But as I'm just about to fly off to Vancouver, and I was outside the store where I get my upgrade, I thought, I'll just pop in. And I was sitting there. In fact, I left the store. I said, I'll come back in November. And then I was bored. I went back in and I got it. Now, I have paid an extra month's something. It's not much. I paid like £25 extra because I upgraded a month early. I could have waited. The iPhone 7 is exactly the same as the iPhone 6, except with a funny headphone jack thing hanging out the end, which is fine. Doesn't make any difference to me. By the way, looks nice as well, but it looks exactly the same. But I could have waited. I'm going off to Canada. My phone's fine. If it didn't exist, I wouldn't have needed the upgrade. When I get back, I could get it. I wouldn't have had to pay the extra. But I thought to myself, well, if I do it now, I actually said, in my mind, I was thinking about this afterwards. I said, well, it saves me coming back up here. I mean, I'm in that area all the time. It also started raining, and I actually said to the guy, oh, it's lucky I'm doing this instead of heading back to the car in the rain. It's rained before. And little things like that. So what I'm saying is that you need to convince your customers of the same. So you need to think of the reasons. So when they're buying, get in their head, think of it the other way around, turn it around and think, why would they want to buy? And then throw these reasons at them, throw the justification reasons at them so that they can make the decision to buy it now rather than later. Because if you give them the chance to buy it later, they see an alternative, or they forget, or they just don't do it, or they just think, nah. But when they're in the mood, yeah. So I don't mean in a scammy way, obviously they need the product, but that's why they're there, right? So work on it. Think like they are going to be thinking. And don't give me well, I don't know that. Yes, you do. You've got loads of customers. Think what it means to them. Think of everything that's a benefit to them and tell them over and over, by email, by Twitter, by social, by on the phone, by, when you're speaking to them, in your copy, everything to help them justify it to themselves. They convince themselves, then they buy it. Okay. End of. Anyway, quick drive time podcast today. It is the Bright Ideas podcast by Trent Deersmith. Now, I'm not going to try and spell his name because it's spelled extremely strangely and I would get it wrong. You'll have to look it up. You can go to the website, my website, go to marketingforowners.com/podcast, and you will find all the podcasts, including this one, everything I said, the video, the download, the links to Stitcher, iTunes, SoundCloud, where it's hosted all over the place. And you will then be able to get the link to the podcast of Trent's. Or you can just go on Apple and look up Bright Ideas Podcast, or just go to Google and look up Bright Ideas Podcast. That's how the word works these days. All it takes, go do it. You'll love it. Honestly, it's good, it's varied. Sometimes it's sporadic, but he's up to 200 and something shows. He's been around a while. Would you like to be as successful as these guests? Well, you can be, because they just use a simple way of marketing online. And we teach this for free at freemarketingcourse.co. It's delivered to your inbox. In 12 days, you'll learn everything they know and that we know. It's a piece of cake. And the amazing thing is, you don't have to be a technical genius, and it doesn't cost a pile of money. Visit freemarketingcourse.co and grab a copy. See what you think.